Hello and welcome into Alumni Field here at Carroll Hutchins Stadium, along with Sorelle, Kreter. I'm Theo, Shernoff. Thank you for joining us on this sunny Friday here in Ann Arbor. Sorelle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a rainy morning this morning, but it's looking pretty good right now, and I'm excited. How about you?
I'm very excited. We're about to witness a Big Ten match between two in-state rivals, Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Two teams that are on kind of opposite points so far this season. Michigan State comes in at 9-16. They're 1-6 in conference, lost their last four. In that four-game losing streak, they have been outscored 52-6. Have not been competitive. They got swept by Ohio State last weekend, looking to bounce back against these Wolverines here in Ann Arbor. And on the other side, Michigan has had a pretty good start to the season, not in the AP poll, but still a relatively successful season so far. They're 25-8. They've had a lot of production from Lauren Putz, freshman, son of J.J. Putz, the former MLB reliever, and they're looking to build on that here against Michigan State. What are you looking for out of these Wolverines today?
I'm really expecting a lot of good play at bat because we've been seeing a lot of really great hits over the course of the season, and I'm really excited to see what they bring today on that end.
Starting for the Wolverines, it will be Lauren Durkowski, one of their two starters. Her and Hain have gone back and forth this season, starting the weekend series. But Durkowski will start. Has a 1.66 ERA so far on the season. Been really effective. She's a senior. The third lowest ERA in the Big Ten. Senior. 10 wins, 5 losses in 23 games. She started 14. They kind of relieve each other, and she's struck out 92 batters compared to only 29 walks. What are the keys to the game for Dirk on the mound today?
All right, looks like we're going to be looking for a lot of great play at the mound. I'm really excited to see what she brings today. She's been doing a great job this season, so I'm excited to see lots of strikeouts and a lot of really interesting pitching going on.
Michigan in their yellow tops, yellow visors, with blue pants with yellow trim running down the side, and on the other side in the third base dugout it is the Spartans, who are in their road grays, gray visors, gray shirts, gray pants, and some green socks. These two obviously both playing tonight in basketball as well down in Atlanta. Chance to meet in the Elite Eight should they both win. Starting lineups are being announced right now at Carroll Hutchins Stadium. Michigan State will be up first with Kendall Smiley leading off against Lauren Durkowski. Michigan's lineup today, similar to what it normally is. Indiana Langford will lead off, the second baseman, hitting .386 on the season, followed by Janisa Conway, Ella Stevenson, Lauren Putz, Lily Valamont, Ella Sealer, Maddie Erickson, Maddie Ramey, and Ella McVeigh. A lot of Ellas, a lot of Maddies in this starting lineup for the Wolverines. They look to continue their momentum from a run rule win against Western Michigan on Tuesday. Sorelle, Lauren Putz had a great game on Tuesday. She went 2 for 3, had a 2-run home run. What does it mean for a program if you can get a freshman contributing the way that she is this early on in her career?
Yeah, really crazy what Lauren has been able to do already. Just being a freshman and being able to make that type of impact on a team means that you're absolutely just crazy, and that's amazing. Also, I want to point out that Lauren Putz was named a Big Ten Freshman of the Week on Monday, so huge accomplishment for her. I'm really excited to see what she brings today.
Michigan's entire roster being announced here. So it's really the real home opener against a Big Ten team on a Friday. They played on Tuesday here, but that's a midweek game. It's tough for a lot of fans to get to against Western Michigan. This is Michigan State at home. A bit of green and white in the crowd today, but Michigan coming in as the heavy favorites. And the team is taking the field. Durkowski on the mound. Just seconds away from first pitch. She's from Elmhurst, Illinois, the 5'8" senior. went to York Community High School, and just all Big Ten first team last season, all Big Ten second team her sophomore season in 2023. Number 18 on the mound for the Wolverines, been their ace. Her battery mate tonight is Valamont, Lily Valamont, catcher for the Wolverines, slotted into the lineup in the 5-hole, number 20 behind the plate, from Trenton, Michigan. Final warm-up pitches are being cast. Sorelle, what does Michigan State need to do to come out on top against a team like Michigan, who comes in as the favorites and the Michigan State as the underdogs? What can they do to kind of get under the skin of Durkowski, who's been so powerful all year long, and just get runners on base?
Michigan State really needs to focus on getting runners on base, just like you said. It's really important that they start putting that pressure on Michigan to be able to start actually being able to make a difference here, kind of start to change their reputation, make a difference this season.
Leading off for the Spartans, number 00. Kind of cool number to watch come up to the plate. Kendall Smiley out of Duluth, Georgia. Lauren looks at her little armband. Lauren Durkowski looks at her little armband on the pitching circle and fires the first pitch towards the plate. Home plate umpire Chad Steers calls a strike. Count goes to 0-1. You see this in softball. These home plate umpires have a little bit of a delay. They make a huh sound, and then they raise their fist a few seconds later. It's difficult to see if it's a strike or a ball right away. The second offering from Durkowski is fired and fouled back into the netting. Bounces back into play. Count quickly runs to 0-2. Smiley has a running swing. Seen that executed in the big leagues a few times, most famously Ichiro Suzuki. The third offering down low. Smiley watches it sail past. Count goes to 1-2. Durkowski settles in. The 1-2 offering. Chop to the first baseman. Picked up, race to the bag. Really close. The ump at first calls it an out. Maddie Ramey picks up the ball and beats Smiley to the bag for the first out in the first inning. There's one away for the Spartans.
With slap hitter Kendall Smiley, we really saw them trying to get people on base, just started to put that pressure, but unfortunately was not able to execute there.
The first offering to Hannah Hawley breaks Hawley's ankles. Hawley got froze. It was a little bit of a changeup. Hawley stepped way out in front, then tried to hold back, couldn't hold the swing back, or couldn't hold her body up, I should say. She fell backwards trying to prevent herself from swinging. A disgusting pitch from Lauren Durkowski gets Hawley now having to get checked in on the medical trainers. She fell backwards and twisted her ankle. And the count is 0-1 just like that. Hawley settles back in there.
Here we see Lauren Durkowski really trying to put pressure with interesting pitches. She had that nasty changeup, and it's starting to kind of see on the Michigan State side.
Hawley out of Coventry, Rhode Island, watches the second pitch from Durkowski fly by for a strike. 2 looking strikes right away for Durkowski, and we're going to see her hammer the zone. Doesn't like to walk a lot of batters. Pitched 100 innings plus and only has 29 walks compared to 92 strikeouts. The 0-2. Down low, but swung on and missed. Durkowski off to a firing start here in the first inning. Hawley goes down on strikes, swinging. That'll bring up Britton Bashirs, the designated player for the Spartans. She's out of Novi, Michigan, local kid. The first offering from Durkowski is up high, swung on and missed. Spartans can't get any type of contact on the ball right now of Durkowski. And it's really about that complex pitch arsenal, right? So now, Sorelle?
Absolutely. Durkowski has an interesting strategy here. She's really trying to put in some weird pitches at the beginning and then ultimately make the people swing at the end, striking them out. Really interesting tactic here.
The second offering up high. 1-1 to Bashir's. Junior won't play in the field today as she's the designated player. The 1-1 is cut on and missed. Just a fastball. Couldn't catch up to it. Bashir's now behind in the count, 1-2. Looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning. Durkowski deals way up high. Valamont snags it. Count is 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Durkowski puts her hands in a little circle. Now fires home. The pitch just a little inside. Chad Steers did not give her the benefit of the doubt. And the count is now full. 3-2 here. Durkowski to Bashir's. Don't want to walk. Bashir's in front of Kaylin Cash, the Spartans cleanup hitter. The pitch caught on and missed. Durkowski makes quick work of the Spartans in the first inning. 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down, and the Wolverines go to hit in the bottom of the first inning. After 1/2 of an inning, it's Spartan 0, Wolverines coming up.
Really interesting work here from Lauren Durkowski. We're seeing a lot of interesting pitches. She likes to start with some weird pitches, some high balls, some rise balls, some change-ups, and then going into just some pitches that make people swing. And I think that's really interesting. She's making sure to put pressure at the beginning and then going a little crazy at the end. And I think it's working really great for her right now. It's Michigan State's turn to put the pitching pressure on Michigan. See if they can hold up their defense and make sure that Michigan does not score right now. We'll see how they do.
On the mound for the Spartans is Faith Gidry. Faith Gidry was all right last season, but this season had a little bit of trouble. She has a 7.50 ERA, allowed 30 earned runs in 28 innings pitched. And she's from Mont Bellevue, Texas. So a south to north reverse snowboard for these Spartans on the mound. 5'11", tall frame, tall, lanky frame that stands high over the hitters. She stands high over her infield too. Shown up in 13 games, started 6. Doesn't strike out a ton, has 19 strikeouts compared to 23 walks. It's going to be, she has to somehow command the zone with limiting hard contact. Leading off for these Wolverines is Indiana Langford. Been their leadoff hitter for a while now. Langford, also a slap hitter, watches the first one fly by or runs with it as it flies by for a strike. 0-1 to Langford. Out of Poway, California is Langford. Great name, Indiana Langford. The second offering is slapped foul down the third base line. Quickly 0-2 on the leadoff hitter for the Wolverines. She's hitting .386 this season. 34 hits, 32 singles.
Right now, we're really trying to see Indiana Langford get some people on base, start to get some action going so that they can get some runs in.
The 0-2 to Langford. Soars by for a ball. 1-2 to Langford. Junior out of Poway, California. Gidry looking to get ahead of these Wolverines. The offering is slapped foul. Fouled right back behind her. Langford makes contact with that ball at the very front of the batter's box.
Gidry now has some pressure on Indiana Langford. 2 strikes, 1 ball. She has some opportunity to make some changes here.
The 1-2 is slapped into left field, and a diving play made by Smiley for the out. The left fielder Smiley and the third baseman Kenyatta both playing further in than they normally would against the lefty slap hitter. And the ball was lifted out there in a diving play just a few steps into the outfield made by Smiley for the out. Kendall Smiley helps out Faith Gidry for the first out of the inning, and that brings up Janisa Conway. who watches the first ball soar low for ball number 1.
Michigan's doing a really great job of taking pitches here. They're being selective and smart about what they're actually hitting at the plate right now.
Guidry winds, deals, cut on and missed by Conway. Count evens up at 1-1. Conway been a staple as the second hitter, hitting .315 on the season, has 7 homers to her name out of Olivehurst, California. California to California, leading off the lineup, and she slaps one up the middle for a base hit. Janisa Conway gets on base with a single. Ball split. Greer and Conroy, the second baseman and shortstop for the Spartans, rolled right past second base, and the Wolverines have a runner on.
Conway with the really smart ball placement there. We saw her putting it right down the middle where both infielders could not reach it. Now we have people on base. Michigan's putting pressure on Michigan State now.
The first offering to Ella Stevenson flies by for a strike. Runner on first, Ella Stevenson looking to find a gap to plate Conway, or just get on base. She's hitting .349 this season herself. Fantastic start to the season. Second offering a little inside. 1-1. Stevenson pops up the 1-1 in foul territory down the third baseline. Moving over is the shortstop Conroy, and she runs into the wall while the ball bounced in the field of play. So a missed opportunity there for the Spartans. They do not secure the pop out. Instead, the count runs to 1-2 on the righty Stevenson.
That was some miscommunication there for MSU. We saw them kind of having a little bit of a problem. 2 infielders both trying to get that ball. Neither one was sure which one was going to get the ball.
The 1-2. Pitch a little inside. A risky take there for Stevenson. Gets away with it. Count runs to 2-2, with Janisa Conway on base. 1 gone here in the bottom of the first, still 0-0. The pitch bounced to the shortstop, Conroy, and it gets past her into center field. Stevenson with a single, moves Conway over to second. Stevenson at first. Ball is grabbed by Dolazecki in center field, and now there's 2 runners on for Lauren Putz, the most dangerous hitter in this Wolverine lineup, slapping a ridiculous .432. 11 homers, 10 doubles, slugging .905. The first offering is low, and you know Faith Guidry is going to try to pitch around Lauren Putz.
Absolutely. That was some smart placement we just saw there. Hitting it again right down the middle, down to center field, making sure to get people on base for Lauren Putz to come in and do something really great here.
Second offering to Putz, called for a strike at the knees. Guidry evens up the count, 1-1 on Putz. 1-1, 1 away. Runners on first and second, bottom of the first. The offering, shot into center field, an absolute bullet. Wave is on. Conway slides head first into home plate. And just like that, the Wolverines are up 1-0 thanks to an absolute rocket single from Lauren Putz. On the play, Stevenson stutters into second. So runners on first and second here for Lily Valamont, the catcher for the Wolverines. Already up 1-0. 3 straight hits for these Wolverines, and Guidry needs a quick out as fast as she could get it.
Great gameplay here by the Wolverines. We're seeing them start to put pressure on that center field line because they saw that it worked the first time, they saw it worked the second time, and they said, why not do it a third time? They're trying to put pressure on those infielders, and it's working. We got 1 run on the board for the Wolverines.
Head coach Sharonda McDonald Kelly has already elected to take Faith Guidry out of the game. So she leaves the game, and they will bring in a pitcher from the bullpen. Kelly trying to make sure her team doesn't get out of it too early. So there will be a relief pitcher warming up.
Not a great look here for MSU, already switching out their pitcher. Seems like they're facing a lot of pressure from Michigan as we move forward with the game.
Only one gone here in the bottom of the first. We're just 4 outs into the game. And there's already a pitching change for the Spartans. Coming into the game, looks like it's number 13 for the Spartans, Madison Taylor. Madison Taylor into the game. And the Wolverines will have a new scouting report to look at. Taylor, the lefty out of Fortville, Indiana.
Madison Taylor with the left-handed pitch might have an opportunity to kind of switch things up, kind of throw Michigan off of their groove, potentially as they go up to bat.
Hasn't pitched all that much this season, just 19.1 innings and allowed 30 earned runs. So not a very successful start, as she is a 10.86 ERA, but Kelly sees something she likes, bringing the lefty to face the righty Valamont. And she's getting her warm-up, swipes in. Bonnie Thole hustles over to Valamont to tell her the scouting report. Thole, of course, the Wolverines head coach. Her 3rd season at the helm, was a long-time assistant here. And Spartans need an out or even 2 on this play. Valamont steps into the box to face the Spartans. Madison Taylor's first offering, a changeup high, misses. Taylor with runners on first and second, trying to avoid any hard contact. The pitch, high again. Count is 2-0 on Valamont. Valamont has 1 singular home run on the season, but 15 RBIs, hitting .286. The 2-0 is low. Count runs to 3-0, and it looked like Bonnie Thole just gave that sign to Valamont. Don't swing at this one. Let's see if Madison Taylor can throw a strike here. Indeed, she cannot. 4 straight balls to Lily Valamont, and just like that, there are 3 ducks on the pond for Ella Sealer.
That's going to be a lot of pressure here for Madison Taylor as she walks a runner to get 3 runners on base now. This is a tough one. Bases loaded. MSU is going to have to play some defense here if they want Michigan not to score.
Ellie Sealer at the plate, digs in. The lefty watches the first pitch. Low. Ball 1. Sealer out of Monroe, Michigan.
Smart gameplay here from Michigan, taking these pitches. They know that the pitcher is struggling to throw strikes right now, and they are taking the pitches at their will right now.
The 1-0 also misses. The count quickly runs to 2-0, and Michigan State needs some way out of this mess. 6 straight balls. The 2-0 is in there, and a very emphatic strike call from Chad Steers. Michigan State finally sees a strike fly by, and that might free up Sealer to swing. A .346 hitter on the season. The offering down low. 3-1. Ellie Sealer, bases loaded. Wolverines already up 1-0. 3-1, 1 out.
Madison Taylor cannot afford to throw another ball here. Let's see what she does.
Indeed, it is a ball. Up high. Everyone advances 1 station. The Wolverines take a quick 2-0 lead. Still 1 gone here in the bottom of the first inning.
Michigan here playing a very conservative at-bat type of hitting strategy. They're making sure to take these pitches as much as possible. They're putting the pressure on. They're seeing if they can walk these runs in.
Erickson steps up to the plate, watches the first one fly by for a strike. The Wolverines' 3rd baseman tonight, batting .280 with 4 home runs on the season. There are 3 ribbies out there for her if she wants one. Takes a cut at a changeup and is a little early as it flies by her bat. Count quickly 0-2 on Erickson. Erickson out of Wilsonville, Oregon, playing here in Ann Arbor. takes a shot down the third baseline, and it's snared by Kenyatta, the third baseman, for an out, who dives back to the third base bag and is just a little late on getting puts out at third. Puts hustling back to the bag. So another out here for the Spartans is a line drive. Found the mitt of Kenyatta. There's now 2 gone as the 8th hitter of the inning comes up for the Wolverines.
That play had the opportunity to change things up for Michigan State. They were just late of getting to the bag. That could have been a good one for them, but still, bases loaded for Michigan here.
Ramey swings and misses at the first one. Second pitch coming from Taylor. Cut on and fouled back into the netting. And now Michigan State 1 strike away from getting out of this mess. Puts at third, Valamon on second, Sealer on first. Ramey is at the plate. The pitch to Ramey, high. 1-2 is the count. Madison Taylor trying to get out of this mess that she inherited from Guidry. The pitch from the lefty Taylor, cut on and fouled high up in the air, and it'll work its way out of play into the bleachers. Found just about the only seat that wasn't filled out there.
Maddie Ramey taking a very aggressive approach here. She has bases loaded, 2 outs. She's really trying to make some change here.
The pitch just misses inside. Hawley tried to frame it to get Taylor the K. Couldn't do so. Instead, there's 2-2. Cut on and missed by Ramey. A changeup by Taylor gets her out of the inning, and the Spartans avoid catastrophe. They are down 2-0, but it could have been a lot worse. After 1 inning, Wolverines 2, Spartans nothing.
Madison Taylor playing it smart there at the end. She had a rough start with a couple of walks, but then later she started to get it back together with that nasty changeup, which really caught Michigan off guard, even with bases loaded.
Into the top of the second we go. A minute of warm-up time for Durkowski. Wolverines would like Durkowski to go the whole way here.
I bet Durkowski's feeling pretty good about this coming inning. She had a great start to the game, and we're going to see some great pitching here from her this inning.
For the Wolverines, that last inning, Putz and Sealer with the RBIs, Conway and Stevenson with the runs. And they got through 8 batters but left the bases loaded. So here come the Spartans now looking to get a little bit back after a quick 3-up, 3-down first inning. Kaylin Cash steps in against Durkowski. First offering down low for a ball. As a Spartan, you're not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark in one swing, right, Sorelle? You're just trying to get on base and set the table for the rest of the order. Is that right?
Absolutely. Just need some people on base right now. We're really not trying to do anything too special. They just need to start putting some pressure on Michigan here.
Second offering is a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Durkowski toes the rubber. Fires from the circle. A little high, a check swing. The appeal down to the first base umpire, Brady Sanderson. He says she did indeed check her swing. So the count goes to 2-1.
Kaylin Cash really thinking about these pitches. It might be an opportunity for Lauren Durkowski to throw some interesting pitches here. See if she swings at them.
Mentioned an interesting pitch, a changeup, catches Cash on her front foot, tried to check her swing, didn't matter, was in the strike zone anyway. So Durkowski picks up a strike. And it's 2-2. The 2-2 home, high to Cash, watches it fly by, and the count runs full.
Durkowski knows that Cash at the plate is almost swinging at these pitches. She's trying to throw some weird pitches out here, but count is full, so we'll see what she does here.
Cash out of Greenwood, Indiana. Watches the full count pitch. Called strike 3. Cash threw her bat towards the Michigan State dugout as if she was walked. And it was not a walk. It was a strikeout. So a rude surprise for Cash.
There we saw Michigan State trying to really have an opportunity to get someone on base. They were trying to get a walk there, but ultimately failed taking the last pitch.
The first pitch to Dolazicki is popped up down the third base line. It works its way out of play. Count quickly 0-1 with one gone here in the top of the second. Sydney Dolazicki, junior out of St. John, Indiana. We're seeing this Indiana to East Lansing pipeline that Michigan State seems to be running out for their softball team. The 1-0-1 lifted into right field. Circling under it is Stevenson, and Stevenson makes the routine catch. 2 gone here in the top of the second.
There we were seeing Sydney Dolazicki be able to kind of get the ball in a pop-up twice there. She had that pop-up that fouled off, and then that pop-up to right field. That might be an opportunity later to throw some interesting pitches to her, see if we can get more of those pop-ups for Michigan.
The first pitch to Greer, fouled just over the Michigan dugout. Maddie Ramey went over to see if she could make a play on it. She couldn't. Reenacts it as if she tried to. She tried to jump over the dugout and do it, but couldn't make the play. It'll count as a foul ball, and Hannah Greer will get another life. Out of Hopewell Junction, New York, is Greer. The 6-hole hitter for the Spartans. The 0-1 offering in there for a strike. And there's just a clear difference between Durkowski's velocity and the velocity of the Michigan State pitchers.
Michigan State is taking a very conservative strategy at the plate, trying to take pitches, get people on base, but Durkowski is throwing nice strikes, nice meatballs right now.
The pitch from Durkowski just misses Valamont. Thought it was strike 3. She'll have to remain behind the plate for at least one more pitch. 1-2 to Hannah Greer. 2-0 Wolverines here in the top of the first inning. Durkowski's pitch fouled, backing out of play over the Carroll Hutchins Stadium sign and into the street. Great sunny day here in Ann Arbor. Not that much wind. There will be a doubleheader tomorrow because of presumed rain on Sunday. So this 3-game series shortened into 2 days. Durkowski's offering is lined down the first base line, but foul. Saw Greer wait for that changeup and then fight it off to avoid strike 3. It was a decent contact down the first base line, but few degrees of an angle too far to the right.
We saw a pretty nasty changeup there. She got a lot of speed cut off of that big discrepancy between what she's usually pitching and that nasty changeup right there.
The 1-2 fired at a fastball, just missed outside. Greer holds off. The 2-2 on the way from Lauren Durkowski. Trying to get 3 up, 3 down for the second inning. The pitch fought off of Durkowski's head. Gathered by the second baseman Langford over to Ramey at first. Not in time. So Greer records the first hit of the day for the Spartans, and there is a runner on. Ball was shot straight back up the middle, and it hit Durkowski in the head or the glove. It looked like the glove, as we're seeing the replay on the video board. Hit her in the glove. Langford couldn't get there in time as she was playing a little bit farther back. And Durkowski's perfect game bid is put to sleep. All 5 outs of it. The offering from Durkowski to Conroy catches Conroy about 7 seconds too early. Conroy swings and misses through it. Was not ready for a changeup. Clearly sitting fastball.
Absolutely gnarly changeup there. the batter was a couple seconds too early with that one. So really great pitching strategies here.
The 0-1 misses up top for ball number 1. And Peyton Conroy is the first Spartan hitter to come up to the plate with another Spartan on base, albeit 2 outs here in the top of the second. Down 2-0. The pitch to Conroy, cut on and missed. Conroy can't figure out Durkowski. Not many have been able to on this season. Conroy is the Spartans' shortstop. She's only had 5 at-bats this season, yet to record a hit. The pitch from Durkowski, cut down the third base line for a foul, and Conroy picks up some contact at the very least as the ball works its way back into the infield.
Peyton Conroy here starting to figure out how to hit from Lauren Durkowski, getting a bit more solid contact on it, but still not fully able to put the ball into play.
The 1-2 from Durkowski. Fires home, drop ball misses low for ball number 2. Durkowski throwing a decent amount of pitches here, even though hasn't faced any real trouble. Although Hannah Greer is on first. Conroy is out of Gastonia, North Carolina. The pitch from Durkowski, framed for an extra few moments by Valamont, but it is a ball. So the count runs full, 3-2, 2 outs in the top of the second. Wolverines trying to cling on to a 2-0 lead that they got in the first. The full count offering, fouled, backing out of play. We'll do it over again. On the play, Hannah Greer is going to try to steal second base as full count, 2 outs, force runners advance. The payoff pitch from Durkowski. Change up a little high. So Conroy works a walk after Greer's single. And now there are runners on first and second here. The first trouble Durkowski has seen today in the top of the second.
Michigan State here with an opportunity to make some change happen. Runners on first and second. They have bases, they have runners. They have the ability to actually make some change here. Let's see if they're able to do it.
The first pitch from Durkowski to Natalia Kenyatta in there for a strike. Count is 0-1 with 2 gone here. Kenyatta is out of Alabama, the freshman out of Madison, Alabama, coming all the way up here to the cold to play, even though it's not cold today. Second offering, a little bit of a slower pitch in there for a strike. Kenyatta didn't love it. Count runs to 0-2.
Oh and 2 with 2 outs here. Tough spot for Michigan State. They really need to get some runs on the board, get these bases moving.
The pitch shot down into the left field, and a diving play made by Ellie Sealer. That was a rocket down the third base line. Could have been trouble. Likely would have scored 2. But Ellie Sealer comes over, plays Superman, makes a diving catch. And the Wolverines escape the second inning, leaving the Spartans scoreless. After 1.5 innings, Michigan leads 2-0.
Ellie Sealer really took that opportunity. She seized the day with a diving play. Great catch there in left field. She made sure to shut out that any type of opportunity for Michigan State to be able to score here. Great defense from Michigan.
Wolverines up 2-0 heading into the bottom of the second inning. And looking to build on that lead. Leading off will be Ella McVeigh, the shortstop. Wolverines almost batted around in the first. 8 hitters came to the plate, pocketed 2 runs. And now McVeigh will lead things off as the 9-hole hitter, trying to set up the rest of the order, get herself on base. The senior out of Des Moines, Iowa. remaining on the mound is Madison Taylor for the Spartans. So Guidry remains out of the game. Taylor worked herself and the Spartans out of a jam as Ellen McVeigh enters the plate. She shows bunt from the left side. On Tuesday, we saw her pull it back a few times. She does just that. Pulls back, watches ball one fly by. Likes to show bunt, pull back, and then swing. It's the infield a little closer for her.
Here
And
we see McVeigh really trying to bring in the infield with that fake bunt and then really whack it. But she's trying to do a slap hit there, so kind of trying to confuse the infield a little bit here.
yeah, she pulled back and then went for a slap shot, but didn't swing. So watch the ball fly into the dirt. 2-0 here to McVeigh in the bottom of the second. Taylor trying to deal with this McVeigh who plays mind games. The third pitch outside for a ball. She pulled back the bunt and ran by the ball 3. So 3-0 quickly to McVeigh. Someone like her with a lot of speed. It's important if she can just get on base. The 3-0 is in there for a strike. Hasn't attempted a steal on the season, but she does have a lot of speed. 3-1 now from Taylor to McVeigh. The pitch in there for strike 2. Count runs full. McVeigh was ready to run to first. Instead, she'll have to lock in for one more pitch. The 3-2 from Madison Taylor. Called strike 3. Froze her after 3 straight balls. McVeigh watches 3 straight strikes, and Taylor works herself back from down 3-0 for a strikeout, her second of the day.
Here we see Michigan taking on a similar strategy to what they had been doing, taking a lot of pitches, being very conservative at the plate, but we're also seeing Madison Taylor start to get into work here.
Langford chops her first pitch she sees over the third baseman, Kenyatta. As Kenyatta was playing in for the slap hitter Langford. Langford hit it into the ground and on one bounce cleared the head of Kenyatta, who was backed up by Conroy, the shortstop, but Langford easily beats out if there would be a throw. She would have beat it out. There was no throw. So Indiana Langford setting the tone on first base, has 11 steals and 12 attempts on the season. Wouldn't be surprised if she tries to run here. First pitch, though, to Conway is swung on and fouled back, so no opportunity for that for Langford. Conway 1 for 1 on the day.
We're seeing Indiana Langford at first, itching to steal that base, get to second, so we'll see if she's able to do it here.
The pitch to Conway. Down low, Langford stays at first. If any ball gets loose from the Spartan catcher Holly, I can promise you Langford will be on her way into scoring position. Taylor toes the rubber, fires home high and outside. Ball 2, 2-1. And what Langford's speed does is it doesn't allow Holly to frame pitches, right? Because Holly, if there's no runners on base, can try to frame a pitch to maybe get an extra call or two. But now she's worried about the speed. Speaking of speed, Langford runs on the pitch. It's a liner into right field, caught for an out, and they double up Langford at first. Langford ran on the pitch. Conway hit a line drive into right field. Coffinger caught it, fired it back into first. It missed the first baseman, Cash, the first time, backed up by the catcher Holly, who fired it to first for the double play. And quickly the Spartans work themselves a double play. That'll go down in the books as a 9-2-3 double play for the Spartans. And a little momentum here building into their away third inning as they try to put a run on the board. After 2, Wolverines still lead 2-0.
Tough play for Michigan there. Michigan State is starting to put a pressure on Michigan. That was a great double play. They made some smart gameplay in that defense. So we might see some pressure from Michigan State in the next coming innings.
I am writing that down right now in my book as a line out to right field and then a 2-3 double play to get Langford at first. Jarkowski remains on the mound for the Wolverines. As for the Spartans, due up is Ava Coffinger. The 9-hole hitter, first at bat of the day. Coffinger out of Richland, Michigan. The first offering to her. The slap hitter watches the first one fly by outside for a ball. Third baseman Erickson playing in, trying to avoid slap hitter bunt or little swinging bunt to third base. The 1-0, also a little outside, framed for an extra few moments by Valamont, quickly 2-0. How do you work around these slap hitters if you're a pitcher, Sorelle?
Yeah, good question. I think if you're a pitcher and there's a slap hitter, you want to kind of throw them some interesting pitches that they might not be able to reach at first, kind of get in their mind a little bit, get them to make contact a few times, and then after that, once they've already maybe had 2 strikes, fouled some off, then you can kind of start to get creative with it, get them to swing at something that maybe they usually wouldn't swing at.
The 2-0 is fouled back, so just like you mentioned, making contact. The 2-1 popped up into left field, but playing in was Sealer, who circles under it, makes the easy waist-high catch. And one away here as the Spartans return to the top of their order. Kendall Smiley.
Kendall Smiley here might have the opportunity to start getting some people on base, getting those runs in. We really need Michigan State to start getting some people on base here.
The offering from Durkowski, shot into the gap in left center field. Quickly over to cut it off is Conway. There's a play at second base, but the throw gets away from Langford. And quickly with a double is Kendall Smiley, who shot out of the box and worked her way into scoring position. So one down here in the top of the third, and Smiley earns herself a double.
Smart base running there from Smiley. She saw that opportunity to get to second. She saw that the ball might not be going where it needed to, and she made it happen to get to second.
Conway cut off the ball like it would be a single, but thanks to Smiley's speed, she was able to work herself into second base. The first offering to Hannah Howley is fouled back and out of play. Hawley Jr. struck out in the first inning swinging, so trying to get a little bit of revenge here against Durkowski. Second offering up high. Valamont pops up right away, fakes a throw behind Smiley, who's at second. Smiley has speed, stolen 4 bases so far on the season in 6 attempts. The pitch from Durkowski, fouled back towards our direction, into the stands. Quickly 1-2 on Hawley.
Time and time again, Lauren Durkowski has shown that she can use that nasty changeup to really mess with people's heads.
Durkowski's pitch, a little high for ball 2. Durkowski has an interesting motion when she pitches. She moves her left hand is in her glove, her right hand is on the ball, moves it in a forward circle about 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, excuse me, and then moves backwards and now fires. And now this one is a little bit even more in our direction, fouled out of play. A lady about 4 rows up swats it down, avoids it from hitting anyone else. Count remains 2-2. But Durkowski, a lot of misdirection in that windup. 4 forward, small circles, then comes set, and then out in another circle and fires. This one's up high. Count runs full on Hawley.
We see Lauren Durkowski throwing a lot of high pitches here, since a lot of the other hits were kind of pop-ups that were gone foul, and so she's trying to get her to get under the ball, cut under it, and hit a pop-up somewhere they can easily get it.
The payoff pitch to Holly. Holly early shot towards a camera person down the third base side, and it might have hit her in the head. A little bit of concern there for the camera person for Big Ten plus, but the count remains full on Holly. She's waving her hands as if she's okay. That's a scary sight. She's inside the protective netting. Anyway, the pitch to Holly swung on and missed for a strikeout. Durkowski picks up her second K of Holly on the day and her fourth total. So now there's 2 gone here in the top of the third inning.
Lauren Durkowski really has that changeup nailed. She's been able to get MSU off of their groove with that changeup.
First pitch to Britton Bashirs, misses for a ball. Smiley on second. Wolverines still up 2-0, 2 outs in the top of the third. The 1-0 also up high. Valamont calls time and goes to check in with Durkowski. The whole infield greets her for a little meeting.
With a runner on second, now Michigan State has the opportunity to start getting some people on base, getting those runs in. They might be starting to put a little bit more pressure with that timeout here. Maybe Michigan is starting to feel it, but Michigan still up by 2 here.
Coming out to check on Durkowski is Brundage, Jen Brundage, the associate head coach here for the Wolverines. Trying to settle her down, quickly 2-0. A little bit of a mid-at-bat check-in. Durkowski gets some high fives from her entire infield. Confidence restored and ready to go against Britton Bashirs, who Durkowski's already struck out once today. Durkowski's ready. The same old routine. Fires home. Change up. Throws Bashirs for a strike. Count is 2-1. The infield is playing Bashirs back. No one inside of the base path, so not expecting her to be that quick of a runner. The 1-2 again pulled down the third base line. This time it hits off the net and avoids any camera woman.
Bashir is here constantly being a little early on the ball. Lauren Durkowski might have the opportunity to throw another one of her signature changeups, get her messed up in the head.
I like that call, Sorelle. If you're early, let's throw an even slower pitch. The pitch from Durkowski, a fastball, fouled back and out of play.
Interesting work here from Durkowski, switching up the speed constantly, kind of messing with the batter's head here. Interesting gameplay with Durkowski.
Dirks 2-2. Up high, but swung on and missed. And Durkowski works herself out of a runner in scoring position jam. Quickly through 3 innings. She has not allowed a run and only 2 hits. That was her 5th strikeout of the game after 2.5 innings. Wolverines 2, Spartans 0.
Fastball at the end. It was clean. It looked great. She did a great opportunity. She did a great job reading that play, making sure to strike out that batter.
Wolverines have 4 hits thus far through 2 innings of their hitting. Spartans have 2. On the mound remains Madison Taylor. Has pitched a very effective 1 2/3 innings so far, allowing 0 earned runs of her own.
Yeah, Madison Taylor could really be what MSU needs here. If she keeps it consistent like she did in the second half, she really could have the opportunity to play some great defense here, stop Michigan from scoring anymore.
Leading off for the Wolverines in the bottom of the third, it is Ella Stevenson, right fielder, righty hitter, hitting .349 on the season, 6 homers. Taylor is a transfer from Ball State. She transferred after her freshman season there and has been at Michigan State, and this is now her 3rd season. First offering to Stevenson, grounded foul towards the Michigan State dugout, 0-1.
Madison Taylor has a really interesting type of flick with her pitch that makes it so that it's coming out from more of under her hand than over it like it usually would. It kind of allows her to be able to throw changeups, throw some interesting pitches here.
The 0-1 down low. Stevenson is 1 for 1 with a single. She scored the 2nd run of the 1st inning for the Wolverines and the last run that they scored. The 1-1 cut on and bounced right back to Taylor, who fires over to first for the out. An easy 1-3 put out for the Spartans. They're starting to build a little bit of defensive momentum at the very least. That'll bring up Lauren Putz, designated player, having a ridiculous season so far, hitting .438, 34 RBIs, picked up another one in the 1st. Scored Janisa Conway. First offering to Putz down low, but at the knees for a strike. The Spartans have started off both of Putz's at-bats with a strike looking at the knees. The 0-1 down low for a ball. Putz, the daughter of J.J. Putz, the reliever, the former reliever in the major leagues. Really successful career, played for the Mariners, Mets, White Sox, and Diamondbacks. Her father also went here, attended Trenton High School. And now Lauren sporting the maize and blue for the Wolverine softball team. She pops up the pitch into the air, and it bounces off of the catcher's mitt of Holly, who ran into the 3rd baseman, Kenyatta, and ends up in the mitt of Cash, the 1st baseman. 3 Spartans converged on that ball, and it is an out. It is a pop out, but there was a lot of miscommunication and collisions there as Putz ends up popping out to the 1st baseman. So 2 down here for Lily Valamont in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
That was the 2nd time we've seen some miscommunication here for MSU. The first time with that pop-up kind of over to the left field side, and now this one with 3 infielders almost colliding there. We might need to see some more communication from them here.
Second offering into Valamont is a strike, so the count evens up at 1-1. Valamont loads her hands back and watches the 1-1 fly by for a strike. So the count runs to 1-2 on Valamont. Spartans looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the game thus far. The 1-2 misses outside for a ball. Count quickly 2-2.
Madison Taylor throwing some really low pitches here, hitting the ground on that one. Interesting gameplay here.
The 2-2 to Valamont. A rocket down the right field line, but foul. Count will remain 2-2. The pitch to Valamont, chopped in the air. Snagged by Taylor, fires a strike over to first. Grabbed by Cash. Madison Taylor works a 1-2-3 inning. And the Spartans get out of the 3rd, leaving the Wolverines scoreless. After 3 innings, it is Wolverines 2, Spartans nothing. Pitcher's duel thus far, Sorelle.
Yeah, so Lauren Durkowski has been doing a great job this season. She's going to warm up right now. She's getting ready to go. And we've also seen a lot of interesting pitching from Madison Taylor. Additionally, right there, we saw her kind of throw the ball a little high to first, even on a slow play, which could indicate she's kind of starting to get tired, Could indicate maybe she's just feeling a little bit of pressure, but it could be an interesting strategy to try to play that with Michigan, be trying to hit up the middle, see how they are able to compete with that. We know that they were able to work with that in the first couple of innings, so we'll see if we see any more of that.
Into the fourth we go here at Alumni Field at Carroll Hutchins Stadium. Across the way, we have clear sight on the baseball game happening at Ray Fisher Stadium. Nice little setup they have here in Ann Arbor. Both center fields are almost touching. If a softball player or a baseball player really gets a hold of one, could enter the other field of play. Softball game a lot more packed than the baseball game here today. The pitch from Durkowski is a changeup for a strike on Kaylin Cash, the Spartans' first baseman, who's hitting .300 on the season.
Durkowski plays an interesting strategy, trying to put those changeups first. Oftentimes we see changeups going kind of at the end of a batting approach, but she likes to put them at the beginning. That could indicate that she's just trying to throw them off from the beginning, then be able to close it off at the end.
The 0-1 misses for a ball. Durkowski's looking down at that armband as she gets the signs from Brondage. The 1-1 misses low. Jen Brundage calling the signs. And the pitch from Durkowski, the 2-1. Change up in there for a strike. She's frozen Cash twice with that pitch and got her looking in the second inning, in her first at bat with that pitch on a strikeout looking. See if she can do it for a second time. The 2-2 from Dirk. High, swung on, and fouled back out of play.
Earlier there, we saw Kaylin Cash stepping really early. She thought about it very early. She wasn't prepared for the changeup. It could be an opportunity here to throw in a changeup, throw in some changes in speed. Could be interesting here.
The pitch is shot down the left field line. A high drive into the Spartan bullpen, and Kaylin Cash wins round 2 against Lauren Durkowski. She rounds the bases. Her team comes to greet her at home plate, and she cuts this Wolverine lead in half.
We saw what Durkowski was trying to do there. She threw another changeup, but the batter was ready for it. She launched that out of the field. She really got a hold of it, got a home run on that one.
So 2-1 Wolverines. Durkowski gets picked off on a home run by Kaylin Cash. There was no one on base. Still 0 outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch she fires into Sydney Dolazecki is a strike. But just as close to a no-doubter as it can be. Hit the back of the Spartans bullpen. Second pitch misses for a ball. Dolazecki, the 5-hole hitter, hitting .254 on the season. The pitch to her fended off of her hands, foul down the third base line. Count is 1-2 on Dolazecki. The pitch lifted into right field. Under it with no trouble is Stevenson. Makes the catch, and there's one gone here in the top of the 1st.
Ella Stevenson there did a great job making sure to watch the ball. She was very calm about it. She made sure to see where it was going, and she got a hold of it, taking it from Michigan State.
Hannah Greer, the sophomore transfer from Pitt, steps into the plate, watches the first one sail low for a ball. Greer was the number 30 nationally ranked recruit in her class in 2022. Spent her first season at Pitt and now is at Michigan State in East Lansing from Hopewell Junction, New York.
Greer's really thinking about a lot of these pitches. They're kind of crazy, they're kind of out there, but we see her kind of wanting to go for them. This could be an opportunity for Michigan.
The 2-0 from Durkowski, lifted into center field. In there is Conway, feeling for the wall, makes the catch just a few steps shy of the warning track. And 3 fly balls, 1 left the yard. The other 2 were outs here in the top of the 4th. Durkowski has 2 away. The Wolverines still cling to a 2-1 lead.
Conway with a beautiful drop step there. She made sure to get back calmly. She got a hold of it. Also, again, took it for Michigan State.
Peyton Conroy, the Spartans shortstop, watches the first pitch for a strike. She still only has 5 at-bats on the season as the last one went down as a plate appearance. She drew a walk. Has yet to record a hit this season. She is a sophomore. Second pitch down low for a ball. Dirk trying to get out of this 4th inning, still only allowing 1 run. The 1-1. Lifted into right field. Under it again is Stevenson, makes a 2-handed catch, secures it, and Durkowski gets 3 flyouts to get out of the inning. Wolverines still lead 2-1 after 3.5.
What really seems to be separating Michigan's defense from MSU's defense right now is their communication. Right there, we saw the center fielder and the right fielder starting to go for the ball, but they said some words to each other. They made sure to yell their commands, and they were ultimately able to figure it out, making sure that their communication was flawless.
Madison Taylor is still on the mound for the Spartans.
Madison Taylor with a much stronger pitching performance last inning. We might be able to see her gain some confidence, start to take some riskier moves, and ultimately be able to maybe bring Michigan State back.
Leading off for the Wolverines is Ellie Sealer, who walked in the first, walked in a run. So picked up an RBI on that one. She's a senior. Was all Big Ten first team last season as a junior. And was on the all freshman team in 2022 as a freshman. Her mom actually played softball at Michigan State. Jill Sealer was a player at Michigan State, so I'm sure she has a lot of stake on the game today. But Ellie, sporting the maize tops and blue pants, maybe causing some rivalry within the family. Watches the first pitch, fly by for a ball. Second offering from Taylor, also outside for ball number 2. 2-0 from Taylor. Turned on and grounded down the first base line, but foul. Count runs to 2-1. Taylor enters the circle, having somewhat shut down this Wolverine team. First batter she faced was Sealer, I believe, and this time Sealer couldn't check her swing and swings for a strike. So 2-2 here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the 4th inning. Wolverines up 2-1. The pitch from the lefty Taylor. She rocks back and fires home. A changeup outside. Ball 3. Full count.
Madison Taylor being a little riskier with the changeup, but ultimately too far out.
The payoff pitch lifted into left field. Under it and making a play is Smiley for the first out of the inning. Little bit under that pitch was Sealer, and that'll bring up Maddie Erickson. Erickson was also all Big Ten first team last season as a sophomore. She's a junior now. Swings at the first pitch she sees, ground it to the second baseman Greer, who fires over to Cash for the second out of the inning. And 2 up, 2 down for Taylor. The Wolverines have not been able to figure out this combination of pitches from Taylor.
Michigan started off with a really strong offensive playing, but then they're starting to get a little bit of pressure here. They're not really able to place anything really nicely. We haven't really seen them get anyone on base right now, and it could be a struggle for them as they try to get more points on the board.
I'll bring up Ella McVeigh. A little bit of a delay here as... Oh, it'll bring up Maddie Ramey, I believe. Yeah, but Ramey was getting a talk from Bonnie Thole, so McVeigh looked like she was heading up to the plate. So it'll be Taylor against Ramey. Ramey, the Wolverines' first baseman, trying to get something started here in the 4th. Have had but 1 base runner in the last 3 innings. First pitch grounded hard right to Kaylin Cash, the first baseman, and Ramey couldn't even get a third of the way up the line before Cash stepped on first base. So another 1-2-3 inning for Madison Taylor, and the Spartans building momentum. They cut the lead in half last inning, and now they have a chance to tie it up and or take the lead.
I think Michigan's really starting to see the pressure here. They were feeling good at the beginning. They had a great offensive and defensive start, but Michigan State's starting to put the pressure on them. So could be an interesting couple of next innings.
After 4 innings, Wolverines still lead 2-0 in a pitcher's duel. 2-1, excuse me. Thank you, Marjorie. 2-1 in a pitcher's duel. Keeping me honest.
Looking at Lauren Dorkowski warm up, she really has a lot of speed on her pitches. Really great tactic, but it seems like Michigan State's starting to get a hang of it after a couple innings. Could be interesting to see how they're able to get at-bats with Lauren Dorkowski on the plate right now.
Dorkowski in the pitching circle and fires the first pitch home to Natalia Kenyatta, who tries to slap bunt, but bunts it foul behind her. So quickly 0-1. Kenyatta, freshman third baseman out of Madison, Alabama, 5'2", and we saw that height hurt her when Indiana Langford chopped the ball over her head in the 3rd inning for a single. The pitch from Dorkowski down low for a ball. 1-1 to the slap hitter Kenyatta. The 1-1, chopped foul, bounces over the Wolverines dugout into the protective netting, and quickly 1-2.
We're seeing Kenyatta switch from slap hitting to actually trying to hit the ball we're trying to see an interesting strategy here. She's seeing if she can get a power hit on, get some points on the board.
Kenyatta watches strike 3 fly right by her eyes. And Durkowski picks up another K, her 6th of the game and 2nd looking.
Durkowski time and time again gets people on those pitches where they take them, and it's a beautiful strike. She has an interesting way of being able to throw some crazy pitches at the beginning, get in the batter's head, and then be able to ultimately throw a pitch that's right there in the middle that they don't swing at.
First pitch to the other slap hitter, Ava Koffinger, is a strike. Second pitch from Dirk. Bunted, foul down the third base line, and you can't bunt on 2 strikes. I mean, I wouldn't advise it. Erickson was playing way in at third, trying to prevent Koffinger from getting a running start towards first base. Now with 2 strikes, it's tougher to bunt. And she runs up and then watches the ball fly by her. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Infield playing really shallow here. They're not expecting too much of a solid contact.
The pitch is a check swing, and the home plate umpire, Chad Steer, says she went around for a strike. So another quick strikeout for Durkowski. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Turns the lineup card back over to Kendall Smiley, who had Spartans' first hit of the game, a double. Another slap hitter, 3 straight slap hitters here. Watches the first pitch fly for a strike. What advantage do you get as a slap hitter, Sorelle, if you are a slap hitter from that left side?
Yeah, definitely. Slap hitting is great for getting people on base. It's really about making quick gameplay, kind of getting in the infielders' minds. What you're trying to do is strategically place it where they're just barely not going to be able to reach it. Your real only goal is to be able to get to first with a slap hit.
Smiley does have a double on the day, though. And the 1-1 is high, snagged by Valamont to save the ball from hitting the home plate umpire. Quickly 2-1.
Interesting pitch there by Durkowski. It is hard to hit those high pitches as a slap hitter, so she's making smart ways to be able to get in the batter's head a little bit, be able to throw those high pitches.
The 2-1 to Smiley. Fouled back into the netting. Quickly 2-2.
We saw Kendall Smiley there just pop it up a little bit. As a slap hitter, that's really common. It's pretty common that you'll be under the ball. So Lauren Durkowski is taking advantage of that, throwing some high pitches here.
The 2-2. Fouled backwards. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 5th inning. There are 2 gone. Durkowski has pitched 4 2/3, only allowing 1 run. Came off of a homer from Kaylin Cash.
Durkowski is really changing up the height of her pitches here, throwing some low ones, throwing some high ones, trying to mess up the batter.
The 2-2 is fouled into the stands, into the bleachers down the third base side. We'll do it one more time. Wolverines clinging to a 2-1 lead, trying to get through 5 with that lead or better. Kendall Smiley in the box from Duluth, Georgia, another south to north. Reverse snowbird. Watches the 2-2, high, ball 3, count runs full. Smiley sporting 00 on her back. Green numbering in the gray jerseys. The pitch from Durkowski, lifted into left center field. Over and grabbing it is the center fielder, Conway. Janisa Conway makes the 2-handed catch as the left fielder, Sealer, was playing a little bit in. So Durkowski works through 5 innings, allowing 1 run. And strikeout, and then a fly ball to the center fielder for those 3 outs. Michigan heads into the bottom of the 5th inning, leading 2-1.
Janisa Conway was able to get that out, but interesting gameplay there on the offensive side. We saw they were kind of playing a lot very shallow for Michigan, and so the batter really put them out there, made sure that they were backing up. So could get in their heads a little bit.
Remains Madison Taylor out there for the Spartans, and why wouldn't it be? She's been excellent thus far. She's pitched 3 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, but those walks were the beginning of her time. No earned runs, faced 13 batters and allowed 3 to reach, only at 50 pitches through 3 2/3 innings. First batter she'll face in the 5th is Ella McVeigh. Hitting 194 on the season, the lowest in the Wolverines lineup. Batting 9th, trying to set the table for that top of the order. She struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Excuse me, in the 2nd inning to lead off the 2nd inning. Now she comes up in the 5th, leading it off again. So she fouls the 2nd pitch out of play. It's 0-2. Since she led off the 2nd and the 5th inning, that means the Madison Taylor has faced the minimum amount of batters. It's been 9 batters exactly in between McVeigh and McVeigh. And she grounds the 0-2 to short. Quickly fired over from Conroy to Cash for the first out of the inning. Taylor is cruising.
Clean play by the shortstop there. Really got a hold of it very nicely. Made a great throw to first. That was a clean play on Michigan State's behalf.
The last 12 up for Michigan have been 12 down. Indiana Langford returns to the box. She was one of those 12. She got a hit, but then got doubled up in the 2nd inning for an inning-ending double play. For a really fluky steal, hit and run, and then Conway flew out. Langford got doubled up at first. The 1-0 lifted into center, but right there is Dolazecki for the out, and there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Taylor is cruising. In steps Janisa Conway, 5'8" sophomore. First one low, almost hit the feet of Conway. Conway started all 61 games last year for the Wolverines and missed 1 start this year. So been a really consistent member in this order.
Janisa Conway really early on that ball that she just fouled. Could be an opportunity here for Madison Taylor to be able to switch up the speed a little bit, get her off her groove.
1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike from Taylor to Conway. The pitch swung on and missed. You mentioned it, Sorelle. Great call. Change up. Conway caught way out in front, and count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th. Wolverines still up 2-1. The 2-1 to Conway is low. That exact same pitch. Conway didn't bite this time. 2-2. Conway, a lefty who's not a slap hitter. Has 7 homers on the season. That's a .541 slugging percentage. The pitch grounded in between the 2nd baseman and 1st baseman into right field. Scooped up by Coffinger. But Conway on base with her 2nd single of the day. Strong pull hitter from that left side. And now there's runner on base for Ella Stevenson.
That is the advantage of being a left-handed hitter, but not being a slap hitter. You can really put a lot of power in the ball, but place it nicely and have a closer opportunity to being first.
pitch. Conway steals second. The throw was tried to scoop up by Greer. Greer couldn't get it, went into center field, but Conway couldn't advance to third. So Conway steals a base, moves into scoring position, but now the head coach for the Spartans, Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, is going to challenge to make sure that Conway didn't leave before the ball crossed the plate. In baseball, you can lead off. In softball, you have to remain on the base till the ball crosses the plate.
Conway with a lot of speed there going to second. Looked like she was speeding over, but it could have also made it look like she was going a little bit early. We'll see what the call is here. That was the first stolen base action we've seen tonight. She did a great job reading the ball, really looking at it very closely and being smart about the way she was base running.
Excuse me, it's not when the ball crosses the plate, it's when the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. And after review, she did leave first base early and is called out. So excellent review by Sharonda McDonald-Kelly. And Conway pats her chest as to say, that's my bad, running back in to the dugout. So the Spartans pick up the third out on not a caught stealing, but a stealing violation. And that'll retire the side in the fifth after 5 innings. Wolverines still clinging on to a 2-1 lead, and yet again the Spartans face the minimum.
That could have been a tough mistake for Michigan there. They really needed to get more points on the board if they wanted to secure this win, and they had 2 outs on the scoreboard. That was a tough call on them.
To the top of the 6th we go. Dirk still on the mound. And up steps for the Spartans, Hannah Hawley. It'll be Hawley, then Bashirs, then Cash for the Spartans. And Cash, of course, took Durkowski deep last time they faced. The pitch from Durkowski chopped to the shortstop, McVeigh, and it bounces off her glove into center field. McVeigh retreated, tried to grab it on a forehand, and it went in and out of the glove, so Hawley is on base, and that is scored as an error by the shortstop, McVeigh.
That may have been what Michigan State needed here. They really need to get people on base, get some runs going in, and now they have an opportunity to do that.
That'll bring up Britton Bashirs. Britton Bashirs, as in Great Britain Bashirs. Designated player for the Spartans. Turns to bunt, goes on the bunt. It misses the bat and then misses the glove of the catcher, Valamon. So on the play, Hawley moves to second, which effectively does the job of a sacrifice bunt. But instead of an out for the Spartans, it's just a strike. About as good of a swinging missed bunt as you can get as the batter advanced. And now Bonnie Thole is coming out to the mound to chat with her infield about what they want to do with a runner in scoring position, clinging to a 1-run lead with no one out.
I'm not sure if that fake bunt was intentional or not, but in general, bunts can be used to kind of trip up the infield a little bit, make them think that you're going to do something, and then pull out something completely different and kind of trick them on that level.
After this game here tonight, you can tune in to WCBN one more time to hear the Wolverines in the Sweet 16 against Auburn, as Ethan Summers and Jonas Tompkin are down in Atlanta. The pitch from Durkowski loads back up, popped up, and just works out of play. It's Bashir, so count as 0-2. Big basketball game tonight. Right now, the softball team here in Ann Arbor trying to cling to a 1-run lead in the top of the 6th inning. Still 2-1. Hannah Hawley is on second base after reaching on an error. The pitch from Durkowski lifted high, deep, drive into left center field, and it clears the wall. And the Wolverines go from having a 1-run lead, and Britton Bashirs puts the Spartans up 1. A 2-run jack in the top of the 6th inning, and the Spartans lead 3-2.
That was exactly what the Spartans needed right now. They had this power hitter come out with someone on base. They are in this game now. That was a great play there.
Britton Bashirs with a home run, and up steps Kaylin Cash, who grounds the first one foul. Bashirs, her 7th homer of the year, picks up RBIs 18 and 19. And the tides have turned. The Wolverines have led all the way from the bottom of the 1st inning up to now, and now the Spartans hold a 1-run lead. Wolverines offense went stagnant, and the Spartans have put up just enough to creep in front. The 0-1 to Cash is in there for a strike. So 0-2 on Kaylin Cash. Still no one gone here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 to Cash up high for a ball. Durkowski needs to get out of this inning and then needs help from her offense now. In line for the loss currently. The pitch to Cash. It bounced to McVeigh. Bounces off her glove again. Tried to short hop it instead of waiting back on it. She charged it, bounced off her glove, and was backed up by Langford. So 3 straight runners have reached for the Spartans. That'll go down as a hit. The first one off of McVeigh's glove was an error. That one's a hit, and now there's a runner on first base. Kaylin Cash will check out of the game for a pinch runner, as there is a return rule in college softball. You can return once to the game, so they'll utilize that now. Pinch runner will be Hannah Herman, freshman speedster. Checks in for first base, and now Sydney Dolazecki's up, trying to keep this line moving for the Spartans. Durkowski needs an out, needs 3 of them as soon as she can get them.
Some tough plays for McVeigh at shortstop today. I think it would be smart if MSU tried starting to put that ball closer to that area of shortstop.
A bunt laid down by Dolazecki, fielded by the 3rd baseman Erickson, fired over to the 2nd baseman Langford, who was covering for Ramey, and there is an out. But that bunt does move a runner into scoring position as Herman stands on second. Durkowski, another runner in scoring position, trying to avoid a single. The shot pitch to Greer, a shot into center field, and that'll get down and bounce off the wall. Greer stumbles turning into second, and now she gets into second as the throw is errant from the center fielder Conway. And in scoring another run is Herman. So the Spartans keep moving this train along and have put up 3 runs here in the top of the 6th.
That throw from the center fielder there was really important. If it were placed perfectly to second base, they might have been able to get the out there. But because it wasn't, they were able to move a runner to second.
So Greer with a double. And that brings up Peyton Conroy, the shortstop. Still yet to record a hit this season. But Spartans now have a 2-run lead in the top of the 6th, leading 4-2. Looking to pull off the upset here that looked like it could have gotten really out of hand early for the Wolverines, and now the Wolverines face a 2-run deficit. Ground ball to McVeigh. Fires over to Ramey for the second out of the inning. Nice play from the shortstop to the first baseman. That brings up Natalia Kenyatta. 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. 4-2 Spartans. Wolverines picked up 2 in the first. Spartans got a home run from Kaylin Cash in the 4th, and then in this inning, the top of the 6th, they put up 3. First pitch to Kenyatta is a strike. The pitch from Durkowski, fouled back. 0-2 on Kenyatta. Wolverines need to get out of this inning and find something to figure out. Madison Taylor have not been able to do that yet. The pitch to Kenyatta, pulled foul down the first base line.
Durkowski really switching up the variations of height and speed with her pitches. On that first one, she was throwing the pitch a little high, making sure to kind of mess it up a little bit. And then now, she's kind of trying to slow it up a little bit. So let's see what she does next.
The 0-2 from Durkowski to Kenyatta. A little high and outside for ball number 1. Greer returns to second. Durkowski not out of the woods just yet. Hannah Greer on second. She delivered a double to score Herman. And the pitch to Kenyatta, grounded to third. Snared by Erickson, fired over to Ramey for the out. That'll retire the side on the top of the 6th, but not before the damage was done. After 5.5 innings, the Spartans now lead 4-2. Michigan Wolverines getting doubled up right now.
Erickson on that one started to think about getting the second base runner. She took a second to think about it, but ultimately went with the first base. So she was able to get it there, but we did see a little bit of hesitation. Now we'll have Madison Taylor back up to pitch. This could be her opportunity to secure a win for Michigan State if she's able to pitch the way she has been, tripping up Michigan at bat.
Michigan has 6 outs to work with to get 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for the Wolverines, number 25, Ella Stevenson. Good part of the order you want up, Sorelle. You have Ella Stevenson, Lauren Putz, and Lily Valamont. A lot of pop there in those first 2. Hopefully, runner on, home run. That's what you hope for as a Wolverine fan.
Absolutely. I think we're starting to get back up to the top of the lineup. We could see some action here, so we'll see how they're able to work with it.
Stevenson hitting .351 on the season. 1 for 2 on the day with a single, and she does just that. Rips it down the left field line. Stevenson hustling into second. Gets in there standing. A stand-up double. She flexes towards the Wolverines dugout. Momentum building here in the bottom of the 6th. Stevenson gets herself in scoring position. That brings up who else? The tying run, Lauren Putz.
Great hit placement there by Stevenson. She made sure to get it right to the side of the very left field, making sure that the outfielder could not get it, but she could get on base.
Stevenson on second, Putz at the plate, watches the first pitch outside. For ball 1, Putz hitting .433. It's ridiculous to even say that this far into the season. Second pitch, grounded to the first baseman, hits off the chest of Kaylin Cash, who then throws behind Stevenson at third. Runners are safe on the corners. Hits off the chest of Cash, fell to the ground. Puts beat that out. Quickly, Cash thought to throw behind the third baseman to third base, Kenyatta, and Stevenson dove back behind her safely. So there are now runners on the corners, no one out, bottom of the 6th. Wolverines down 2, 4-2. Brings up Lily Valamont.
Michigan State taking a timeout here. They're getting nervous with a runner on first, runner on third, 0 outs. This is an opportunity for Michigan to come back here.
Valamont has walked and grounded out to the pitcher. There are 2 ducks aboard. The lead taking run is at the plate. Tying runs on first. First pitch to Valamont is up high. Putz has 5 steals and 5 attempts on the season, so should she want to get the tying run into scoring position, she could go for it with runners on the corners. We'll see. The second pitch to Valamont swung on and missed. 1-1. High pressure moment here, bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch from Taylor to Valamont, down low. 2 balls and a strike. Valamont waits on a changeup and is early on it. Goes out of play down the third base line.
Valamont really needs to get some hard contact here. She needs to bring those runners home if Michigan has a chance at this game.
To the 2-2 to Valamont, down low in the dirt. Count runs full on Lily Valamont. Redshirt sophomore out of Trenton, Michigan. Missed her freshman season, or her first season, due to injury. Now in her second season, lines the ball down the first base line, and fair. That'll score a run. Moving to second is Putz. Valamont aboard at first. She keeps the line moving on the play. Ella Stevenson scores, and the Wolverines cut the lead in half with runners on first and second, and the Spartans need an answer.
Valamont did exactly what she needed to do right there, hitting a hard ball down the line, right where the outfielders were not able to get it, but still being able to move the base runners around.
Danielle Stenger, the pitching coach for the Spartans, comes out to the infield, having a talk with Madison Taylor. We'll see if they leave her out or not. Looks like they're just waiting for another pitcher to come, and now another pitcher does return. So Taylor, after a fantastic performance, hands the ball over to guess who? It looked like it was Guidry. It's not Guidry. To Carson Cassidy. Carson Cassidy, freshman, number 33 for the Spartans, will take over in a high-stakes situation. Go Blue chants echoing, starting from inside the dugout out to the bleachers. Carson Cassidy will take over, 5'11", freshman from Pataskala, Ohio. Was a Max Preps High School All-American, and a big pickup for the Spartan program, and now she's pitching, trying to hold the Wolverines off the scoreboard. It's 4-3 Spartans. Wolverines have runners on first and second with nobody out for Ellie Sealer here, the left fielder for the Wolverines.
Carson Cassidy seems to have an interesting pitching style. She does this thing where she kind of leans back before she actually pitches it, and that could actually kind of trip up the runners and the batters a little bit as they try to read these pitches and get some runs in.
Cassidy just about ready for play. Ellie Sealer steps in, 0 for 1 on the day. Walked in a run in the first and then flew out to center field, or to left field, excuse me. Cassidy versus Sealer. Carson spelled with a Y in place of the O. Sealer up, bottom of the 6th. Wolverines down 4-3. Runners on first and seconds. Big time moment here for Ellie Sealer. The first pitch down low for a ball. And since Sealer turned to bunt, the shortstop for the Spartans, Conroy, had to cover third, which means that Lauren Putz, who's on second base, can get a really big secondary lead, almost to 2/3 of the way to third. Secondary lead. His second base was uncovered there, but it's 1-0 to Sealer. The next pitch, another bunt, pulled back, called a strike. So 1-1 now to Sealer. Putz on second. Valamont on first. The pitch from Cassidy. Sealer pulls back the bunt again, and it's outside. She's showing bunt, trying to move runners over to second and third base, but trying to find a pitch she likes first. 2-1 from Cassidy to Sealer.
Smart hitting here, showing that bunt, trying to move the infielders around to change things up.
The pitch is turned on and grounded foul. Count evens up at 2-2. Sealer, big time moment for the senior, starting left fielder today.
Ellie Sealer drives that one foul down the line, but those down the line hits have been a great opportunity for Michigan. So if she could pull it off, it would be great.
The pitch is a changeup, popped up to the second baseman, Greer, for an out and no runners advance. A weak pop-up on a changeup. Doesn't let any runners advance, and now there's one away here in the bottom of the 6th for Maddie Erickson. Another big-time moment here. Erickson, runners on first and second. The first pitch cut on, fouled over the press box, out of play. 1 strike. Erickson only hitting 189 with runners in scoring position this season. 274 on the year in total. Next offering is low, really slow pitch for a ball. Carson Cassidy looking to work out of this jam. She already got 1 down with no runners advancing, but any hit should score Lauren Putz. Pitch to Erickson, a strike, was a little bit high, but just under the lettering of Michigan on her chest. So a strike. 1-2 here to Erickson. Need contact at the very least. Spartans looking for an ending double play ball or something like that. The pitch popped up to the pitcher, Cassidy. No runners advance. Cassidy makes the two-handed catch, and just like that, Cassidy has earned 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring up Maddie Ramey.
Carson Cassidy's really getting the Wolverines here on those changeups. We've had 2 weak pop-ups since she has begun pitching.
Cassidy's pitch to Ramey. In there for a strike, another slow one. Trying to figure out something to deal with Cassidy are the Wolverines. The second pitch is up high. In the bottom of the 6th, the Wolverines trail by a run. Tying runs on second, lead taking runs on first. Pitch to Ramey. Turned and grounded to the first baseman, Cash, who picks it up and steps on first. And Carson Cassidy enters the game and silences the Wolverines. After 3 straight Wolverines reach base to start the inning, Cassidy cleans up the mess, avoids catastrophe, and the Spartans hold a 1-run lead, 4-3, heading into the top of the 7th inning.
Tough end of the inning there for the Wolverines. They really needed that opportunity to get some runs on the board, and they were not able to execute.
We enter the final frame of regulation. Jerkowski remains on the mound. Wolverines down a run, trying to hold the Spartans from getting an insurance run And that insurance run that they did get in the top of the 6th was crucial. They were up 3-2, and then another double earned them a 4th run. And that's the difference right now in this ballgame. So Jerkowski on the mound. Leading off is, for the Spartans, Coffinger. Ava Coffinger up at the plate for the Spartans. Erickson inching closer and closer to her at third base. The pitch is fouled back and out of play. 0-1. Second offering from Dirk. In there for a strike. 0-2 on Coffinger. Wolverines trying to get out of this inning as quickly as possible and get right back to the dish to try to get that tying run home. So right now they're one swing away from tying it. You want it to remain that way throughout this inning. Coffinger makes contact, fouls it back into the netting. The pitch from Dirk just misses outside. Wolverines wanted that one. Jerkowski in her 7th inning of pitching, trying to get through the entire game. The pitch is swung on and missed. A little bit high and outside, but Coffinger, the slap hitter, could not reach it. She goes down swinging.
Smart pitching there by Lauren Durkowski. She's throwing those high pitches to the slap hitter. Those are hard pitches to get as a slap hitter. She did a great job reading that situation.
Coffinger strikes out for the 2nd time today. That brings up Kendall Smiley. First pitch is in there for a strike. Sun is setting here in Ann Arbor. So we are in the 7th inning of a 1-run ball game. Second pitch to Smiley, outside for ball number 1. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th. The pitch grounded right back to Durkowski, who fires a strike over to Ramey at first. We're out number 2, and 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Durkowski looking for a complete game, 4-run ball game. She's pitched 6 2/3, allowed 6 hits and 3 earned runs, although there are 4 total runs. 1 runner reached on an error by the shortstop, Ella McVeigh. First pitch to Hannah Hawley, swung on and missed. Durkowski at 116 pitches tonight. Pretty impressive performance.
Absolutely. She's doing a great job at the pitching plate right now.
The second pitch to Hawley misses high. The 1-1. Shot back up the middle, grounded to McVeigh, snares it on a hop, fires to Ramey, retiring the side. 3 down here in the 7th. Jerkowski works a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. And then we head to the bottom of the 7th. All the marbles are on the line. Wolverines down 1, 4-3 Spartans. Due up will be Ella McVeigh, Indiana Langford, and Janisa Conway.
McVeigh there with the play that Michigan really needed right now. She made sure to take that play, make it very clean, and end that inning, making sure that Michigan State could not secure any more runs. Now we have Carson Cassidy back warming up. She had a great last inning being subbed in there. She's doing a great job. She's been very clean with her pitches. She's been very strategic with it. I'm so interested to see what she does next right now.
Cassidy looking to put the nail in the coffin of these Wolverines in game 1 of this 3-game series. They will have 2 games tomorrow. Ella McVeigh will lead things off here in the 7th. 0 for 2 on the day, hitting 191, looking to get things going here. Shows bunt, pulls back, watches the first pitch fly by for strike number 1. The pitch from Cassidy. High for ball number 1. 1-1 to McVeigh. Every pitch so crucial in this point of the game. Could swing win probability with any contact, any out, any runner advancing, etc. McVeigh turns to bunt, then pulls back, rips it to the second baseman, who underhand flip to Cash. Greer to Cash, out number 1. Wolverines down to their final 2 outs.
Down the line hits were working for Michigan earlier, but now we're seeing them kind of start to lose that type of rhythm, finding those gaps. It did go right to the second baseman there, so they really need to find gaps on the field, get people on base, and get those runs in.
Umpires having a little meeting. McVeigh is claiming, I think it bounced off of her foot to second base. So the umpires will go in the hood and challenge this. Michigan might be challenging it. McVeigh is still in the batter's box. She ran to first, but now she's back in the batter's box. And Bonnie Thole is talking to the umps. As we look at a replay here. Yeah, we can't see it, but McVeigh definitely thinks the ball hit her foot. So the umps are in the hood. There's an official review happening right now. Turkowski has pitched a gem today for the Wolverines. 7 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 total, but Wolverines unable to put up more than 3 thus far. McVeigh is still standing in the lefty batter's box. Thole is with her, the head coach for the Wolverines in her 3rd season. Hoping for a foul ball to get that out back.
We're still waiting here, and Michigan really needs this call for them. They need that to be a foul ball so that they can keep those runs coming in.
Thank you so far for listening to this production of WCBN Sports. We're not done yet. Michigan has 2, maybe 3 outs to play with. Trying to buy some insurance on this last out that just occurred. Still waiting for a ruling. Umpires are looking at every angle. So after review, it was not a foul ball, and they call her out. One down here in the bottom of the 7th. Indiana Langford steps up, looking to put herself on base. Janisa Conway is on deck. The pitch from Cassidy. Misses for a ball. Langford, a slap hitter, trying to get on base. Carson Cassidy trying to get the save here for the Spartans. She's pitched a wonderful 3 outs, as good of a 3 outs as you can get. 4 outs, excuse me. Bunt laid down by Langford. It stayed on the base path, on the baseline, down the third base side, didn't move. Langford thought it was foul. Ball stayed there. Ump signaled fair. Catcher picked it up. Hawley fired it over to Cash in time. If Langford was running the whole time, she might have beaten it out, but she wasn't. She stopped, hesitated, then tried to run, and was beat out by 2 steps at first. And now the Wolverines are down to their final out. Janisa Conway stands in, 2 for 3 on the day. Watches the first pitch fly by for strike number 1. 4-3 Spartans. 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. Conway just looking to get on base. 7 homers on the year. That would tie it with 1 swing. Shoots a missile into center field for a base hit. Conway with her 3rd single of the day, and the tying run is now aboard.
Those right up the middle hits are really getting MSU here. Michigan has an opportunity to find gaps in the field, be able to get runners on base. That is what they need here. They have only 1 more out to be able to do this.
Conway is 10 for 11 and stole base attempts on the season, but now 10 for 12 since she left early on one earlier in the game. Pitch to Stevenson is a strike. Ella Stevenson has the chance to end the game in 2 ways. If she makes an out, Michigan State wins 4-3. If she hits it out, Michigan wins 5-4. Spartans up 4-3. The pitch swung on and missed. Stevenson down to her final strike. Michigan down to their final strike. 0-2 is the count. Carson Cassidy, standout freshman for the Spartans, toes the rubber, leans back, fires home, just misses outside. Ella Stevenson lays off of an 0-2 pitch. Fantastic eye and stays alive. Conway on first, represents the tying run. The pitch from Cassidy inside to Stevenson. Count evens up at 2-2. 2 gone here, bottom of the 7th. Michigan faithful on the edge of their seats. Spartans looking for 1 more strike to finish the job. The pitch grounded to third. Snared by Kenyatta. The throw to first. Grabbed by Cash, and she is out by a 1/4 of a step. Spartans take game 1 here in Ann Arbor. 4-3. Thanks to fantastic relief efforts by Madison Taylor and Carson Cassidy. The final play was a ground out to third base, and Ella Stevenson could not beat the throw. So Michigan falls here in Ann Arbor. Spartans pick up an upset win over their rival, and they will do it again twice tomorrow. A doubleheader on Saturday here. You can listen right here on WCBN. Thank you for joining us. Sorelle, any final thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I just want to talk about that pitching there for MSU. Those subs really maybe won the game for them. They were able to really shut out Michigan on their defense, as well as be able to lock their offense in with 2 home runs that set up the energy, got everyone riled up, got their confidence up, ultimately allowed them to be able to come in and win that game.
Michigan, 2 runs in the first, 1 in the 6th. They end with 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error, which ended up costing them. Michigan State, a run in the fourth and 3 in the sixth. They have 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error as well. They leave victorious here in game 1 of the series. Thank you for listening to WCBN's production of Michigan Wolverines softball. Along with Sorelle, Kreter, I'm Theo Shernoff. I had a pleasure calling the game with you. We'll leave you with a good night and go blue.